Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome, friends. I hide that. Cool. So welcome to the February .NET MAUI community stand-up. We made it. January. I don't remember much of it. Kind of flew by. It's kind of a blur, but we made it. So quick introductions. I am David Ortinau, product manager for .NET MAUI. And with me is Rachel.
Hello, Rachel, also product manager working on .NET MAUI, and we have
Special guest.
Everyone, my name is Kunyi, and I'm an engineer on the team.
And where are you, Kunyi? Where are you? Can you tell us?
So I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, near Boston.
Go Boston.
So you are a nerd, right?
Yes, I am a nerd.
And for everyone who doesn't know what the nerd stands for, why don't you tell them?
The New England Research and Development Center.
There you go. New England Research and Development Center. I think it's cool. I wish I worked in a building called the Nerd. I don't. I guess I could name my building whatever I want, but nonetheless, I've never done so. Rachel, help me come up with a name for my office.
Dave's Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Mojo Dojo. I was worried you were going to say something with cave in it because I'm an old.
Did you watch the Barbie movie?
You know what? I think I fell asleep during the Barbie movie.
But not for the Mojo Dojo Casa House. Right?
Well, send me the sample, the clip from YouTube or whatever.
Okay. Alan says Dave's Dork Den.
Probably accurate. And you can see that I've been doing some cleaning because all the, I don't have a closet to just like throw things into. So they end up on the chairs behind me. Yeah, so that's how it is. You know what? I haven't been to the Nerd in years. It was probably pre-COVID when I was last in Cambridge, which is a big bummer.
That's not true. Because I saw you that one time.
Yeah. Progress had their Dev Summit thingy mabob. DevReach. Thank you. I remember that, and I brought my son Declan, and we had a great time. Yeah, that was really, really good. Good times. But it's been a while, and I miss it because that was where I actually got hired into Microsoft. So,
really?
A special place in my heart.
All right.
Hey, all right, we've killed a few minutes. Hi, everybody. How's it going? We've got folks from Germany, France, Brazil, India. We have at least one Canadian. Let's see, where else? I want to find some super exotic place that I've never called out. Johnny, you're in Australia? Austria. See, my eyes. I read that as Australia. Austria. Cool. I didn't know that. I would have also said I didn't know that you were in Australia. All right, Rachel. Denmark, Spain. Ooh, that was a good one. Where'd it go?
Nashville is
Tajikistan.
Hello.
Where is Tajikistan? It's over with the rest of the stands, right? It's got to be. Haiti, Latvia. Oh, man, I love this. Nashville can be exotic. It's definitely weird at times. Nashville. I will. All right, cool. Rachel, I think there's a lot going on in the community.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I notice a lot of cool stuff going through my LinkedIn feed, which is pretty much the only social related feed that I follow. Other than we do have an internal chat with like news about how people are using the product. And it's basically Gerald just reading off of his socials and bringing it to us.
As always.
So there's some cool stuff. And I'm very eager to see what you have for us today. So why don't you cover some news? I've got a few engineering, PR, library related things, and then we'll go to Kunyi for some co-piloting.
Woo! Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so pretty exciting because it's actually only been 3 weeks, I think, since the last time we had our community stand-up.
That's right. We
Because
kind of we blew
yeah,
past that. Yeah.
so it's only been 3 weeks technically, but there's still so much.
Did you see my cool mug? You see this? Look at that. A friend of mine, Andrew Nager, is a
It is
graphic
pretty
artist
cool.
and designer. And his wife
Oh,
does pottery. Yeah, so you can
whoa!
check
It's
this out.
handmade.
Yep. Very
That's
cool,
pretty neat.
right?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Sheesh, yeah, stop
I
distracting.
promised chaos in my
It
announcement.
is chaos. It's
And
not.
so
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, let's take a look at some community updates. All right. So over on YouTube, Abe Prince is back with the multi-video series. We got here a 43-part series on building a .NET MAUI app, social media, full-fledged, super cool. It has an entire login flow implemented and the ability to add posts to a newsfeed type of situation as you would on social media. You can like, comment, save the post. So lots of awesome stuff there. And Abe takes you step by step through the process. And if that wasn't enough, another multi-part series from Abe, we have here a 27-part series, which is ongoing. So we don't know what the end result is going to be like yet until we get to number 27. So you'll have to stay tuned. But this one is a Blazor hybrid app. Super cool, exciting stuff. You can add your fruits and veggies to your shopping cart and figure out all the different things. And you'll have to build it out to see which parts are coming from Maui, which parts are coming from Blazor, and mix and match your components. So super awesome that Abe has all these tutorials as always for Maui and Blazor hybrid and all the things. Beautiful and complex UIs. Hold on.
So there are 27 of them already?
No, not yet. This one
Just
is
the first.
still in progress. No, there's multiple. I think it's in the teens right now.
In the teens?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to throw up a video here and there. You can go to my channel somewhere on YouTube and see that I haven't posted in forever. But people who can stick with this for the long haul, super impressed with that. You library maintainers that just keep plugging away at it for years on end, and those who have content streams and you can just keep churning it out. I think it's super impressive. So
yeah.
good
And
job.
it's super awesome being taken through the step by step just from scratch every single step of the way. So great learning resources. What else have we got? We have a couple of videos from Max Manstein as well. So Max has a video here on implementing push notifications using Firebase. And Max walks you through exactly everything that you will need to configure. Oh my gosh, why is it being like that? Configure within Firebase itself, the NuGet package that he used, and how he wired it all up in his Maui app. So super awesome. And then similarly, if I can find my cursor, he has another video on doing the same thing with Google Analytics. So super awesome seeing all the different ways that you can leverage building in and wiring everything up with Firebase, if that's of interest to you.
Does Max, does he happen to mention what libraries he's using to do the Google things?
Yeah, he's using a NuGet package from, I'm forgetting what it's called. It's a plugin. It's called like plugin.firebase. Let me see if I can find it. Scrub. Here.
You have ads? What?
Of course. Of course. I think it's called plugin.firebase though.
Shake says, without YouTube, we are
Yeah.
not programmers. That is fairly accurate.
There is a.
Although I think Copilot's going to take over. There's no more need for so much YouTube or so much.
Here you go. There you go. Plugin.firebase. This is the one from T Buckles.
Yep.
Yep. So that's the one that Max uses in his videos.
Yeah. So he's been pushing those out, and there's a new dependency. Well, I say new. It's been 8+ months now. But yeah, I'm glad that you pointed this out, and I wanted to make sure everybody was aware that they are he and others. Adam, I think, is one of the other maintainers, are keeping up to date. I didn't check the versions, but relatively keeping up to date with the Firebase versions and libraries necessary to do these things, and then publishing them as plugin.firebase, plugin. Whatever they are.
Yep. I think this is the one.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it lists them all down there in the README. So if you are one who has been looking for where are the libraries for this, because Microsoft and Xamarin used to maintain all of them, and as this README does explain, we did make the decision to stop maintaining a good chunk of them. So awesome that the community has stepped up. Thank you so much, and published them. So
lots of great stuff. Alrighty. We also have some new OneDev questions videos popping up. Some from me, some from James, and more to come. So if you're curious about James' favorite VS Code feature for Maui, or why it's important to make your apps accessible, be sure to stay in tune with this new playlist on the .NET YouTube.
It's right there in the captions. We can tell. It's right there in the captions. He loves hot reload, obviously.
What a giveaway.
It is a giveaway. Don't even need to watch the full minute. All right, it's not a minute thing, is it? Just
everyone loves watching James, so
you know, he has a fan base, and I am one.
And of course, James also has a full-fledged video on starting Maui development in 2025, everything you need to know. So if you can't get enough of James from those 1-minute snippets, you can get so much more. And then over to LinkedIn, Dave's favorite social media. We have his article from Brajesh on revolutionizing cross-platform development by integrating AI with .NET MAUI for intelligent apps. And they have a couple tips and examples of ways that you can leverage Azure services to implement AI features to make your apps more intelligent. So definitely awesome examples here. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. And there's some guidance here included as well on how to integrate those APIs. So super cool stuff. Curious to hear from whoever's watching if you're using AI in your apps and what you're using.
What library is this blog pushing? Was it an Azure library?
Yeah, Microsoft.Cognitive Services or OpenAI. Let me see if there was an example here. Yeah, no, this is pretty much it. They mentioned Azure Text Analytics, Azure Custom Vision, Azure Machine Learning, and Azure Speech Services.
So I was in a meeting this week, and people kept talking about MEAI, and I was like, "Is this like a cat's
Maui?
Stepped on the cat's tail, and it goes meow." And so I learned that it's an acronym because if you work at Microsoft, you have to make up acronyms for everything. For Microsoft Extensions AI, which is currently in preview, and I'll drop a link to it here in the chats. I have been replacing my OpenAI library with this. The cool thing about the Microsoft extensions for AI is you can swap. I mean, it has many cool things. One of the most cool things for me was because I started early, I was like telling the AI endpoint, here's my JSON. You got to give me back this JSON exactly in this format. Otherwise, I won't be able to parse it and my life will be bad. And so that was like, that wasn't very entirely reliable. And it was kind of a pain to have to do that. With this library, you can give it the exact C# model that you're using and expect as a return, and it just does that. So totally streamlines all of that stuff. Also, you can use OpenAI, you can use Azure OpenAI, you can use local models. And so it has lots of other actual implementations that you can leverage. And it's an abstraction across all of those. So it's like, it's the MAUI of AI. You can think of it that way, where we abstract across all the UI toolkits, it's abstracting across the different AI implementations and gives you a great way to do that. So I've been playing with it. I've been replacing my implementation in my language learning app with it. And it's definitely less code. I'm looking forward to completing the transition with the help of Copilot, by the way. Everything is Copilot, this and that. So
Yep, absolutely. Glad to see here in the chat. WW.
Oops,
Oh,
sorry, I just stomped on it. Sorry, I didn't know you were doing that.
me.
Go ahead. My hands are off the keyboard.
Yeah, I was just going to highlight this comment here from WW Walker Web, also using Copilot for all the things and debugging. Definitely super helpful. All right, your turn.
I was just going to throw up the link to that AI extensions package. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. It's like when Frank Krueger shipped his Wii. Remember Wii? Nobody remembers Wii? It was the Xamarin Forms for web, and so he had written a backend that he called Wii, OUUI or something like that. It's like a French Wii, but anyway, yeah. Thank you, President.
Oh, okay. I think it's the way you're pronouncing things. Like once I see it written, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But you're scary.
How would you pronounce that? Kunyi, how would you pronounce that?
I have no clue, but now that you've said it first, it's like in my head. So I'm seeing it as we.
Yeah, what I was imagining was here what Dot Morden wrote, not what.
Yeah.
I was trying to be more.
You sound like a cat in pain. It's just really
everything sounds like a cat in pain from these acronyms and names. So
right.
Why don't we move on to the next one so I can think of some other chaotic thing to say.
All right, this one here. I know a lot of us saw it. The .NET MAUI running on this self-service kiosk, which also has facial recognition. Super, super cool seeing it, MAUI being used on all different types of devices and for all different types of experiences. Lots of love here. Got Gerald in the comments.
Gerald's in all the comments.
Of course.
Gerald doesn't even sleep anymore.
Yeah. Super, super cool.
You know, Dot Morden, when we tested the name for MAUI, when we would talk to developers in different parts of the world, there were some areas of the world where they absolutely thought it was the sound of a cat. So it was pretty interesting. We'll never get away from it. We're not renaming again, that's for sure.
Well, we'll embrace it. We also have Javier. He's working hard continuously on his template MAUI and his templated controls. If you missed last month's community stand-up, we had Javier on walking us through the various templated controls he had then, but now there's an updated version with even more improvements. So definitely continue checking it out.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Working hard. We have Ankit sharing their latest project called MoneyMate, which is a personal finance tracking app built with Maui. So super cool seeing this beautiful UI and again, all the beautiful things people are building with Maui.
Yeah, it looks like it was a Maui Blazer. Am I right?
It looks like it.
Hybrid?
Yeah. It looks like
people
it. Yep.
love
Hybrid architecture. Awesome stuff here.
Yeah, there was a comment earlier in the chat from Nashville Will, right? If I can find it. He was considering doing the Blazer hybrid, I think, for our next project. I think if you have web skills, you'll be super happy with it. I think that everybody that we generally talk to, it's among the highest customer satisfaction styles of ways to do things. So,
yep.
Full endorsement, and we've got plenty of examples like this to show of people being successful with it.
Yeah, absolutely. People love Blazer Hybrid. And Tobias here, just sharing general optimism and excitement for the year ahead. 2025 is going to be the year of .NET MAUI. You best believe it.
I read that and I was like, man, now I feel pressure. Like, are we doing enough? Maybe we need to do more.
Yeah. If you're not happy, it's Dave's fault, not my fault.
What? That's okay. Well, we are product owners, right?
When things go well, you can thank me. When things don't go well, you can look to Dave.
What about Beth? You got to give Beth some kudos.
Well, Beth's doing just awesome stuff constantly with Blazer Hybrid. So, yeah. Alrighty. And then we have .NET MAUI Doom ported to .NET MAUI, courtesy of Nick Kowalski here. A couple community stand-ups ago, I didn't know what Doom was. I was like, there was a video that we were sharing. It was like porting Doom to Windows from Windows. And I thought it was talking about the doom that they felt porting their Windows app. and then I learned after watching the video and talking to y'all that there's this game that I've never played until last night when I pulled down this GitHub repo and I ran Doom from VS Code. And honestly, sometimes when I pull down random samples from the internet, it's like a 50-50 shot if it's going to work immediately or if I need to tweak a couple things. And I wasn't sure how successful this would be because there's a lot going on here, right? A full-fledged game. Yeah. But it worked immediately and I was really pleased. And I figured out how to play Doom and kill some NPCs or whatever it's called. So it works. It's exciting.
Many a late night playing games like this.
Yeah. Well, now you can play with Maui.
I played so much that
on
it actually
all platforms.
I got like a nauseous flashback just watching this video. Just too much whipping around.
That's funny.
Very popular. LAN party. Yep, exactly. You knew you were working with a good team of people if they stayed after work to have a LAN party, or if that's what all of lunchtime was.
What does that mean?
A LAN party?
Yeah, what's this TLN?
LAN stands for local area network.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Cool. I learned
now
something
you only think Wi-Fi.
Every community station.
But before Wi-Fi, you had to actually have these cables like this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is how you get fast speeds.
Yes, thank you.
My child. Oh, my child.
I mean, no one says Wi-Fi party. You know, it's just not.
It's true. But you know, like my son still says LAN party. Well, like not regularly because he's a board gamer nowadays. But there were
Interesting.
when he's walking out of the house with the Xbox under his arm.
I just didn't know it was a concept. Cool.
It is.
All right. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
just like this. Carrying your large computer and a network switch to a friend's apartment for a LAN party. Absolutely. Rachel, you missed out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Alrighty. Well, let's move on to things that I do know more about. So in the world of our component vendors, we have Syncfusion, of course. We talk a lot about their awesome Syncfusion toolkit for .NET MAUI controls that are free. But they also have their own separate set of controls and all these updates that they've been making to it. So they have these videos and updates on their website talking about recent updates to controls like their AI assist view and their data grid and all the other awesome things that you can leverage. So definitely worth checking out if you're curious about other controls beyond what's offered inside the box in Maui. GrileKit's also been popping off, tweeting a lot lately with a lot of new controls that they've been working on. They have here a bunch of form templates that you can use. They have 1,000-row data grids that run buttery smooth. That was super cool. If you're looking for alternatives for managing your data-heavy applications, this could be an approach for you.
We need a new phrase to replace buttery smooth.
Buttery.
Only because, like, have you ever gotten a cold slab of butter and like it's not easy to spread?
That's fair.
And so like you got to warm it up, which actually could be an appropriate technical analogy because in order to really get good scrolling, you need to warm it up. There are some things you need to do, right, to make it buttery smooth.
Yeah. Or you can buy the packaged versions that already come buttery smooth because
you can get
they run the work
margarine.
for you.
Isn't margarine like the fake butter that?
Yeah, it's like oil, I think.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. I don't know what's in it. I grew up on margarine. But yeah, Ken's Burns effects here. Lots of things.
Ah,
of course,
James. Oh, and Frank. Wee.
All the fun. Yeah, I guess they were on Merge Conflict, the podcast.
More robot rollerblade action. Nice.
Yeah. So lots of good stuff. I'm always seeing GrileKit all over my Twitter/X. And Progress Telerik as well, pumping out the blogs as always. Hector's back with another blog, this time on native platform library embedding in Maui. So you can read through to learn about what is native embedding, why should you care, when can you leverage it, when is it most beneficial for you to leverage it, and then of course step by step on how he approaches it, what files to delete, what code to add, what projects to create on the native side, depending on what you're interested in building and all the things. Super, super thorough. Always appreciate how thorough Hector's blog posts are, really walking you through every step. And then, no, not that. I made a blue sky today. I already did this step. We can skip that. Maybe. Oh, did I lose? Okay, on Blue Sky, there was a post from Arctic Fusion about this customer success story. Yeah, so if you aren't aware, we have a bunch of customer success stories. They're constantly being updated on our website, so you can see how real Maui app developers and companies are building Maui apps and what they're using it for and how they arrived at the decision to use Maui. So here, Arctic Fusion built an app called Party Fellow to streamline event planning and gift giving. I think it's a pretty cool concept. The idea is when you go to a party and you don't want like 10 people giving you the same gift, it'll help you streamline that type of problem. So you can actually understand what the gift recipient wants for their party. You can
it's like a registry, like a
party goers. Kind of. I think kind of, yeah. So it's cool. If you don't want like 10 socks for Christmas or whatever, you can help manage that.
10 socks is better than 9 socks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if you're fine with that, then by all means. But yeah, so cool app built on .NET MAUI. And they talk about their decision for how they arrived at using .NET MAUI among the various options they had and why .NET MAUI ended up being the perfect fit for them. So definitely check this out and check out all of the other success stories as well. I think if you go here, the .NET Customer Showcase, you can see all of the .NET success stories, and you can filter on MAUI as well to see the MAUI specific ones that are here so far. And if you're interested in sharing your story, you can submit your story as well, right from the website. And last but not least, oh my gosh, here.
You can't back out of it.
What?
It really wants you to upload a profile photo.
I did, is the thing.
Actually, yeah, you did, because I followed you. I'm your first follower.
Blue sky.
For better or worse.
Okay, man. Whatever. I'll deal with it later. Well, I was going to show Gerald's post, which you can go find him on Blue Sky. But Gerald was in NDC in London with a couple other folks. And they did a lot of cool things over there, meeting a bunch of you, talking more about MAUI. I know Gerald did he built a brand new MAUI app and had a new session over there that he was excited about. So I don't know. Incognito. Hey, that's a good point. I can't spell. Blue sky. Gerald. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Good teamwork. Way to go, team.
Thanks, team.
Okay, yeah, definitely don't want to see his earwax.
So this is the what's it called on Blue Sky? It's not a tweet. They just say post. This is the post.
It's a cloud in the blue sky. I don't know.
So yeah, NDC London. Seems like I got a good crowd there talking and premiering his new session on the Events Companion app. So yeah, awesome stuff.
Cool.
And last but not least, actually last but not least, I wanted to highlight. Oh my gosh, here. Oh, I have it open already. I'm losing it. Chaos. GitHub Copilot for Visual Studio, if you didn't know, they announced a free version now as of late January. So there's a free tier that you can use to check out GitHub Copilot Visual Studio. So if you haven't already, this is the time to do so. And that way you'll be able to leverage the Copilot chat, Copilot completions, and all of the awesome things in there, including what Kunyi is going to show us today. All right, enough of me. Enough of me and my chaos.
All right. I've just got a few updates to share. So, firstly, I don't know if y'all saw this, but our dear friend, Pierce Bogan, Used to be with Xamarin and then was part of our PM team for a long, long time. He was among those who brought us the very first of the hot reload. He brought us the live player from back in the day, one of the predecessors to our hot reload. He has recently taken over. He slid right on into a job at Microsoft working with to lead the product team for VS Code and GitHub Copilot.
Woohoo!
Oh, wait, where's the celebration? This is amazing. I can't find it fast enough. So seriously, Pierce, super congratulations to you. Love it. Obviously, you need to give favoritism and preference to anything we want to see happen in both of those things. But no, very excited for him. I mean, ever since he left our team, he's done nothing but great things with Power Platform and the Teams developer things in the Teams app. And now getting the opportunity to do this, super awesome. So if you haven't, go find his post, give him lots of love, tell him how amazing he is. Let's see that 137 others climb to like 1,000. Let's do it.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
And give VS Code lots of love as well. You know, VJ commented here that the GitHub Copilot being free is not exclusive to VS alone. This is true. It's also there's also free capacity in VS Code, so definitely check it out over there too. Do all the VS Code things.
Yes. All right. Couple of release-related things I wanted to call attention to. So this is, well, I guess this is service release 3 because we actually are doing a pretty good job sticking with our numbers for the last several releases. What's going on? A lot's going on. Service release 4, I've been testing kind of the stuff that's coming in that, but 3 is full of lots of wonderful stuff, lots of product fixes. But what I really wanted to showcase is look at all this testing enablement, all this tests that are added. Oh, bringing them online and making them green. Super excited. So as you can see, hopefully this demonstrates very clearly that we are continuing a strong focus on bug fixing and quality work. So thank you so much to everybody who has been involved in that effort. A lot of Sync Fusion engineering in that list. And lots of community here, you know, in the bug fixing in general. So like if we go down here to the contributors, look at that. Marty, Stefan, and 31 other contributors. And many of them are from the community. So a lot of the common folks that you see in here.
Incredible.
Yeah, awesome. We see Kubeflow is in there, Pedro. These are the pictures I can easily pick out. That's Matt, isn't it? Yeah, that's Matt from our team. So, anyway, very cool stuff there. And then not to be outdone, the Community Toolkit team. I saw George was here and probably others of you from the Community Toolkit maintainers group are doing awesome stuff. So 11.0 has been released about 3 weeks ago. Gerald shouted that on the socials. Offline speech recognition. That's awesome. Status bar gap. I guess if you want a gap for the status bar, you got it. And much more. Always got to do a much more. So lots of improvements to camera view, media element, and maps. So love to see the continued improvements and progress on. And I will tell you, I went and looked at like what are the most actively used libraries in .NET MAUI apps in the last 30 days. Community Toolkit right up there near the top. Like, I mean, it's everywhere. So super important to a lot of our apps. We, of course, now include it in our new template with sample content alongside the Community Toolkit MVVM and the Sync Fusion MAUI toolkit. So
we love it.
Love to see it.
Love it. Also, it's closing the gap, I think, not
closing the gap.
Not wanting a gap.
Okay. You don't want a gap. You can close it.
They fixed the gap.
Near or at the top. It was near the top. Sorry, George. It was not quite at the top. George is wanting to know just how cool he is. Oops. That is not the one that I clicked on. That is so weird. Scrolling is out of control.
Thank you for the kudos, though.
Near at the top. All right. So Maui Reactor. We've talked about Maui Reactor before. If you are after a C# dominated developer experience and you like fluent syntax and you want to use an MVU inspired state system, then this is what you're looking for. I have been using this. I'm porting my language learning app to it with the help of Copilot, and it is going great. Copilot Edits. Kunyi, do you know, is Copilot Edits, like, that's available for everybody now, right?
Yeah, it's
where
new.
you can tag in a whole bunch of files. Yeah, okay. So everybody should be able to use this. And so it's great because I can take my content page and my view model from my MVVM implementation, and I can say, hey, this is all written in C# markup with an MVVM pattern, but I want you to port it, rewrite it using Maui Reactor Fluent extensions and using a state management system, MVU inspired state management system from Maui Reactor. Go. And it just does it. It's awesome. It gets me like 95% of the way there. It messes up a few things, doesn't quite know exactly what to do with some things. So I have to go and iterate on it, but that's totally fine. Saves me tons of time. The performance has been great because like that was my main concern, is that now I'm wrapping my stuff with stuff and I don't want to wrap things because, layers can introduce problems. But anyway, what's cool is version 3 brings a whole bunch of new improvements and changes. I feel like when I'm using it, like it just does the thing that I want it to do. And it's not overly opinionated about, like, that was my experience using C# markup extensions, which are great, but like it has some quirky things, in my opinion, that kind of slowed me down. So I'm hot on Maui Reactor. I think y'all should go take a look at it. If you like Swift UI, you're probably really going to like Maui Reactor. If you like Flutter, you're probably going to really like Maui Reactor. So check that out. All right, a couple more things, and then we'll give it to Kunyi real quick. Pedro, I love this stuff. Like, I did not know that you were doing this stuff until I came and checked out what had been happening in the Maui repo. So a couple of PRs here, this one and then this one here, improvements to Maui itself that make the debugger experience better. So when you hover over something, you get more information, better information in these popover tooltip-y looking things. So awesome. I didn't even know we could do that. That's great. Love it. If you've been waiting for the title bar that came out in .NET 9 for Windows, I know Rachel has. She asks me about it every single day. I have been waiting for it. TJ has been hard at work on it, and thank you, TJ, for getting this across the finish line. It's coming in the next service release, I believe. And so it's now available for Mac. You also get it on some tablet form factors, I believe. Rui is currently poking at it on iPad. So that's super cool. I'm very much looking forward to using that in more and more places. All right. So those are just some quick updates from me. I want to know all about Copilot fixes for XAML, because I use Copilot to fix stuff in my C# all the time. And Copilot doesn't do diddly squat. Diddly squat is a very technical phrase for nothing in my XAML. So Kunyi, have you fixed that for us? Have you made it amazing for XAML?
Well, hopefully I have. Yeah, so I would love to talk about the Fix a Copilot feature for XAML. And as Dave mentioned, this feature is already available for C#, and we're bringing it over to XAML as well. So let me see if I can do a quick demo.
Woohoo! I think it's available in 1713 preview 3. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, so it's out in preview right now. And here, so I'm going to do a quick demo. So I have a base Maui app here, and the kind of example I want to give is, let's say like you find some code online, you're not sure if this will work for Maui or not, but you want to give it a try. It comes from something about WPF. So then you paste this in and you see this squiggle, and it says the type is not found. So you can click on this light bulb here and say, fix a Copilot. And then it will ask the question to Copilot, can you try to fix it? And then here you can see that it's now suggesting to replace stack panel with stack layout, which will work for Maui. And then if you have any other follow-up questions, you can ask here, or if you think this looks good, then you can say accept, and that fixes the error. And then now you see, okay, there's also another issue here with the button, and it says the type button does not support direct content. So another way to use this feature would be to look at the error list down below. And if you click on the error, you see there's a little Copilot button. And if you click on this, it would also ask Copilot to explain and fix the current code. And then with a chat window, you would get a little blurb about explaining what the error is and how Copilot is suggesting fix it. And then you can preview to see what the fix will look like. And then if you think it looks good, then you can also go ahead and accept. And there we go. And now all the errors on the XAML file are fixed. And then just to do a quick demo on C#, this also works in C#. So you have the C# error. You can also use the light bulb or use the error list entry here, and then click on the Copilot button, and then it will try to suggest a fix for you. And then if and you can always ask follow-up questions, preview what it would look like, and then give feedback on whether it was helpful or not. And yeah, and one thing I want to add is, how do I know if I have this feature enabled? Is you can go to your GitHub Copilot settings, and then it's under the editor settings. You want to make sure enable Copilot to fix errors and warnings from error list and light bulb is checked. And then you have this available to you.
So the clicking the was it helpful? Is it helpful to click the was it helpful? Or does that just get ignored? Nobody actually cares.
I care. I care about it.
All right. So for everybody watching, this is confirmation that when you click the thumbs up, thumbs down, we actually do get that data, and we actually can make changes based upon that. So use it, please, liberally. That's really, really cool. I don't look at the errors panel thinking I'm going to use Copilot there. So that's really cool that we've integrated it at that level. Because really, that is the thing, right? Like when you get a bunch of errors, you're like, well, I want to go fix those things. But then you got to click the error. You got to go find, hopefully, where the code is, which usually if it's XAML, it can't find the XAML. Although I think that's been improving lately. Yeah. So
this is so awesome. Super cool. I know one of my biggest challenges has always been decrypting what those error codes are and what those error messages mean and what to actually do about it. So being able to directly get an explanation and a recommended fix, so neat. I love it.
Yeah.
And
you can always Oh, sorry. I was going to say you can always ask follow-up questions Copilot about more about the error codes that you're receiving, and you can get more information about that. So it doesn't stop here after triggering this feature to ask the question. You can continue to interact with Copilot to maybe tailor the response closer to what you want.
So the demo that you gave where it switches the stack panel to a stack layout, I absolutely love that, because I remember when Copilot first was introduced, and it barely knew that .NET MAUI was even a product, because it was like the data it was trained on was way older than what we wanted it to be. They've gotten much better, obviously, about that as time has gone on. Is it would provide me stack panels. Like it thought I wanted stack panels because I was using XAML. And I mean, most of the XAML in the world probably has stack panels and not stack layouts. And so now it's wonderful that we have provided enough context, and or it just knows that this is Maui. Maui needs stack panels. No, excuse me. Maui needs stack layouts, not stack panels.
Get it right.
I know. Which reminds me of another thing. Does everybody know this? That you can put a .github folder in the root of your project. And then inside of there, you can provide custom instructions for Copilot in a markdown file. Does everybody know that? And it gets sent with all of your chat messages. So if you're like, hey, I'm using this particular library, or I want all of my stuff to be cased this way, or you have preferences on something else, and you just want Copilot to never forget it, you can put it all in that markdown file, and that gets included behind the scenes when you have your conversations with Copilot. It's documented on the GitHub website. So if you go to GitHub's website and look at the Copilot stuff and say, hey, what's this special file thing? You can totally do that. So I know we do a lot of work to make Copilot smarter about Maui things. You can make it smarter about your solutions and your projects. If you have, standardized stuff that like your code person like demands that it looks a certain way or does a certain thing. Awesome. So what is this the first, Kunyi, is this like the first Copilot related thing that you've done, or have you worked on other Copilot things with us?
So I've worked on some XAML response tailoring in Copilot. So in terms of when you ask it a XAML question that you want to get XAML back, and then the previewer, I've made sure made improvements there to make sure it will give a reasonable suggestion for where to put the code, and it looks good, it's correct XAML. So I've done a little bit of improvement on that. I would say this is the second thing I'm working on, and I'm continuing to work on this feature to make it better. So would love to know if there are any types of errors that you would like to see, like use this for, and would love for it to work better in, what's working, what's not working, continuously looking on feedback for that to make this better.
Did you use Copilot to make the feature with Copilot for us to use Copilot?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I definitely asked Copilot to help me understand the code for Copilot to improve Copilot.
Yeah, that's something that I don't do very often, is ask it questions about a code base, probably because I primarily work in code that I've been writing. But that's an interesting thing. Like when I see people get frustrated with Copilot in their projects, they typically ask it something, don't get an answer they like, and they stop. As opposed to, having a conversation. Like when you have a conversation with somebody and, after the first statement, do you just stop talking to them because you're like, I didn't like that answer? No, you keep talking, right? You're like, maybe I don't know you very well. Maybe we just need to get to know each other better, because it does improve as you go, right? Has that been your experience?
Yeah, I think so. And I definitely think it's also like a change of habits in like my workflow, getting into like, instead of, maybe spending like 30 minutes, like head down, like clicking through like many code, like getting redirected from place to place, and then like losing track of what like code was I looking at before. Like now, like if I have a question, like, okay, can I ask my friend here to explain it to me before I click like 12 layers deep? I think it's been very helpful, but it does take time to get used to and change how you go about your development cycle.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I talk to my engineering team less because I stopped asking them questions and I just ask Copilot. And they're like, why don't you ever talk to me anymore? And I'm like,
You never say that. It's okay.
they never say that. They never say, why don't you talk to me anymore? Now I talk
No.
to them about fun things and not why am I writing dumb code? Awesome. Rachel, final thoughts from you?
None. This is just awesome, Kunyi. Thanks for the awesome demo. I know one of the biggest challenges we had with Maui and GitHub Copilot was literally about XAML and having Maui relevant XAML instead of WinUI or WPF or other flavors of XAML. So what Dave was saying before about the stack panel versus stack layout, I know you helped contribute to that improvement of XAML suggestions before too. So thanks for all your awesome work on all the Copilot things. It's super, super great and really improving the Copilot experience for all us Maui folks.
And thank you very much for joining us today, making time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got to
It's
opt out
super
of some
fun.
boring meeting.
No, but this is really fun. I wouldn't count it towards like a meeting. Hopefully I'll come back with even more updates on this and other cool Copilot things. We'll love to come back.
Absolutely. You are on the list of people we are now going to hound month after month. You got something to show? You got something cool? All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us for this month's .NET MAUI Community Stand-Up. If you got stuff that you want us to talk about and we're not talking about it, send it to us. You know, I've dropped my email in the chat there somewhere. You can always find us on socials. Even if we're not talking, we do get the messages. And we love to know what you're up to and what we should be talking about, because this is a community stand-up. And we want to make sure that we're showcasing and amplifying the cool things that you're doing as well. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Kunyi. And until next month, annyeong.
Bye.